Hello, I'm Barry Dugmore, the Archdeacon Commissioner. I'd like to encourage you to sign up for a series of workshops, 3 workshops on everyday faith. They're going to be facilitated by the Serving Christ team. The first one is on Saturday, April the 24th, and then there's one in May and one in June. But the details are on the diocesan website, so do check those out and sign up online if you'd like to. Each one of us has a unique shape and call, a blend of gifts and abilities. And no matter how kind of small or large our sphere of influence is, it doesn't matter, because this unique shape that we have, God delights in. And as we follow Jesus and serve him, he delights to use us in being people of influence for the kingdom. In those everyday places where we find ourselves. And so Everyday Faith and these workshops seeks to explore how we can live as God's people and be a positive influence for the kingdom with those we encounter in our daily lives. But by way of doing so, let me encourage you by sharing a story with you about a guy called Mark. And Mark came to faith in the church, my last church that I led as a vicar in Tiverton, came to faith through Alpha, and was thinking through what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus, and what does it mean in outside of church, really. And one thing that Mark was really passionate about was his football, and he managed a local football team. And they weren't very good, I have to say, but they would often get beaten sort of 10, 11, 12, 13-0. I mean, if they got a goal themselves, that was brilliant. They were doing really well. But one thing that was quite distinctive about Mark, and people began to notice this, was how he managed his team, how he spoke to them, how he conducted himself, and the effect that this had on them as people. And also this generosity, this generous spirit about just welcoming people that of any footballing ability to come and get involved in playing football. And word got out, and it was noticed, as I say, by the other teams and managers, and it got reported in the local Tiverton paper, then in Exeter, and then it went into the national papers. And Mark was even getting, via social media, contact from kind of quite famous football managers nationally and internationally, saying they'd read the story, how heartened they were about his love for the game and that kind of positive influence that he had on people. So for Mark, his team was never going to go very far in terms of football greatness, but his influence for the kingdom and his sharing out of his faith, that positive effect it had on others around him, was something that God was using as Mark offered that frontline place to God. And each of us will have our own unique frontline place. The place where, when we're either not asleep or not at church, either in the building or on Zoom, outside of those times where we spend our everyday lives. And I'm hoping these workshops, as you sign up for them, will really encourage you to explore what that looks like in your everyday place. And as you do so, we would love to hear some of those stories about your everyday faith and the places you'll be this time tomorrow. And come and share with us about what that looks like for you and how God is using you in your everyday place. Thanks very much. God bless.